Welcome to Wisdom Audiobooks. Have you ever wondered why silence is so powerful, yet so rare in our noisy world? What if the key to peace, clarity, and success lies in embracing it? In today's chaotic, hyper-connected world, silence remains an underrated tool for transformation. The power of silence reveals how quiet moments can reshape your mind, body, and life, offering focus, purpose, and inner peace. Are you ready to unlock its potential? Introduction. If you're listening to this audiobook, chances are you've already felt the weight of the noise that surrounds us every single day, whether it's the constant buzz of notifications, the pressure of deadlines, or the endless chatter in our minds. You're not alone. In fact, most of us live in a world where silence has become a rare and precious commodity. But what if I told you that silence isn't just a luxury? It's a necessity. Today, we're diving deep into the power of silence. This audiobook is written and published by Wisdom Audiobooks, and its purpose is simple yet profound, to help you rediscover the transformative power of silence, and use it as a tool to create a more peaceful, focused, and fulfilling life. Let me start by asking you 3 important questions. Do you often feel overwhelmed by the constant noise and distractions in your life? Are you struggling to find clarity and focus amidst the chaos? Do you wish you could reconnect with your true self and live a more peaceful, meaningful life? If these questions resonate with you, then you've come to the right place. Silence is not just about turning down the volume of external noise. It's about creating space for your mind, body, and soul to heal, grow, and thrive. It's about giving yourself permission to pause, breathe, and listen, not just to the world around you, but to the voice within. I understand how challenging it can be to find stillness in a fast-paced world. As someone who has walked this path myself, I know the struggles of feeling disconnected, stressed, and lost in the noise. But here's the beautiful truth: silence is always available to us. It's not something we need to search for outside ourselves. It's already within us. We just need to learn how to access it. This audiobook is designed to guide you step by step. Together, we'll explore why silence matters more than ever in today's noisy world. We'll uncover the science behind silence and how it positively impacts your brain, body, and emotions. We'll share practical strategies to incorporate silence into your daily routine, even in the busiest environments. And most importantly, we'll dive into real-life stories of individuals who transformed their lives by embracing silence. Throughout this audiobook, you'll find actionable insights, inspiring quotes, and practical exercises to help you apply the lessons in your own life. For example, did you know that studies have shown silence can actually regenerate brain cells and improve memory? Or that spending just a few minutes in silence each day can significantly lower stress levels and improve overall well-being? These are just a few of the fascinating discoveries we'll explore together. But this audiobook isn't just about theory, it's about action. My goal is to empower you with the tools and motivation to make silence a part of your daily life. Whether it's through mindfulness practices, journaling, or simply taking a few moments each day to unplug from technology, you'll walk away with concrete strategies to create more balance and joy in your life. Before we dive deeper, let me leave you with this thought from Mother Teresa. We need to find God, and He cannot be found in noise and restlessness. God is the friend of silence. While this audiobook may not be about religion, it is about finding peace and purpose in a chaotic world, and silence is one of the most powerful ways to do that. So, whether you're here to reduce stress, enhance focus, or simply find more meaning in your life, I invite you to open your heart and mind to the lessons ahead. By the end of this audiobook, you'll not only understand the incredible benefits of silence, but also know exactly how to harness its power to transform your life. Your wisdom journey starts here. Chapter 1: The Noise Epidemic: Why Silence Matters More Than Ever. In this chapter, we'll explore the overwhelming noise epidemic in modern life and why silence has become a rare but essential treasure. From the constant distractions of technology to the pressures of work and social expectations, noise surrounds us at every turn. But what is the true cost of this noise? And why is silence more important now than ever before? By the end of this chapter, you'll understand how noise impacts your mental, emotional, and physical well-being, and why embracing silence is not just a luxury, but a necessity for living a balanced and fulfilling life. 1. The overwhelming noise of modern life. Let's start by taking a moment to reflect on the world we live in today. Think about your typical day. How many notifications do you receive on your phone? How often do you check social media or respond to emails? How much time do you spend consuming news, entertainment, or other forms of digital content? The truth is, we are living in the noisiest era in human history. According to research, the average person is exposed to over 34 gigabytes of information per day. That's equivalent to reading 100,000 words or watching 8 hours of video content daily. And it's not just digital noise. Our environments are filled with sounds, from traffic and construction to conversations and advertisements. Even when we're alone, our minds are often racing with thoughts, worries, and to-do lists. This constant barrage of noise has a profound impact on our mental health. Studies show that chronic exposure to noise increases stress levels, disrupts sleep patterns, and contributes to anxiety and depression. In fact, the World Health Organization, WHO, has identified noise pollution as one of the leading environmental health risks, second only to air pollution. But here's the real question: why does noise affect us so deeply? To answer this, let's look at how our brains process sound. Every time we hear a noise, our brain instinctively tries to interpret it. Is it a threat? A distraction? Something important? This constant processing consumes mental energy, leaving us feeling drained and overwhelmed. As Deepak Chopra once said, "The quieter you become, the more you can hear." Yet, in a world that glorifies busyness and constant connectivity, finding quiet moments feels almost impossible. Many of us have forgotten, or perhaps never learned, how to simply be still. So, what happens when we don't give ourselves permission to pause? Let me share a personal story. A few years ago, I found myself trapped in a cycle of endless noise. My days were filled with back-to-back meetings, emails, and social media scrolling. Even my evenings were consumed by Netflix binges and mindless phone use. I told myself I was being productive, but deep down, I felt empty. It wasn't until I took a weekend retreat, a full 48 hours without technology, that I realized how much noise had been suffocating my creativity, focus, and joy. If this sounds familiar, know that you're not alone. Millions of people struggle with the same challenges. The good news is that recognizing the problem is the first step towards solving it. And the solution begins with understanding why silence matters. 2. Why silence is essential for well-being. Now that we've explored the overwhelming noise of modern life, let's talk about why silence is so crucial for our well-being. Contrary to popular belief, silence isn't just the absence of sound, it's an active state of being that allows our minds and bodies to heal, recharge, and thrive. To understand this better, let's dive into some fascinating scientific research. A groundbreaking study conducted in 2013 by Duke University found that just 2 hours of silence per day could lead to the development of new brain cells in the hippocampus, the region associated with memory, learning, and emotion regulation. Another study published in the journal Heart revealed that silence reduces heart rate and blood pressure more effectively than listening to relaxing music. But the benefits of silence go beyond physical health. Silence also plays a critical role in emotional healing. When we allow ourselves to sit quietly, we create space to process our thoughts and feelings. This is especially important in today's fast-paced world, where we often suppress emotions to keep up with demands. Take a moment to imagine this. You've had a long, stressful day at work. Instead of immediately turning on the TV or scrolling through your phone, you sit in silence for 10 minutes. What happens? Your breathing slows down. Your mind begins to settle. You start to notice sensations in your body, perhaps tension in your shoulders or tightness in your chest. Slowly, you release these tensions, allowing yourself to feel grounded and present. This simple act of sitting in silence can have profound effects. It helps us reconnect with our inner selves, fostering self-awareness and emotional resilience. As Eckhart Tolle famously said, "Stillness is the language of the soul." When we embrace silence, we open ourselves to deeper insights and clarity. But here's the catch: silence doesn't come naturally to most of us. In fact, many people avoid silence because it makes them uncomfortable. Have you ever noticed how quickly we reach for our phones during a quiet moment? Or how we fill silences in conversations with unnecessary words? This discomfort stems from our fear of boredom or confrontation with our own thoughts. However, avoiding silence comes at a cost. Without regular moments of quiet reflection, we risk losing touch with our true selves. We become reactive instead of proactive, driven by external pressures rather than internal values. Over time, this leads to burnout, dissatisfaction, and a sense of disconnection from life. 3. The paradox of seeking silence. Here's an interesting paradox. While silence is one of the most powerful tools for personal growth, it's also one of the hardest things to practice. Why is that? Part of the reason lies in our cultural conditioning. In many societies, busyness is seen as a badge of honor. We wear our packed schedules and multitasking abilities like trophies, equating productivity with success. But as Blaise Pascal wisely noted, all of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. Think about it. When was the last time you allowed yourself to simply sit and do nothing? For many of us, the idea of doing nothing feels lazy or unproductive. Yet, science tells us the opposite is true. Rest and reflection are essential for creativity, problem solving, and decision making. Let me share another inspiring example. Meet Sarah, a corporate executive who was on the verge of burnout. Her days were filled with meetings, calls, and endless emails. She rarely took breaks, believing that staying busy was the key to success. But over time, she began to feel increasingly anxious, irritable, and disconnected from her family. One day, a colleague suggested she try a mindfulness practice called silent reflection. Skeptical but desperate, Sarah decided to give it a shot. Each morning, she set aside 15 minutes to sit in silence, focusing on her breath and observing her thoughts without judgment. At first, it felt awkward and uncomfortable. But after a few weeks, something incredible happened. Sarah noticed she was calmer, more focused, and better able to handle stress. She even started making decisions more confidently and creatively. Sarah's story is a powerful reminder that silence isn't just a luxury. It's a necessity. It's a tool that can help us navigate the challenges of modern life with grace and resilience. Sarah's transformation didn't happen overnight, but her commitment to embracing silence made all the difference. She began incorporating small moments of quiet into her daily routine, whether it was a few minutes of deep breathing during her commute or a short walk in nature without her phone. Over time, these practices helped her reclaim a sense of balance and purpose. But Sarah's story isn't unique. Countless others have experienced similar transformations by prioritizing silence. For instance, consider the case of John Francis, an environmental activist who famously took a 17-year vow of silence to better connect with himself and the world around him. During this period, he walked across the United States, observing the impact of pollution and advocating for environmental protection. His silence became a powerful form of communication, inspiring thousands to rethink their relationship with the planet. These stories highlight an important truth. Silence is not about escaping the world, it's about engaging with it more deeply. When we embrace silence, we create space to reflect on what truly matters. We become more intentional in our actions, more compassionate in our relationships, and more aligned with our values. However, the journey towards silence isn't always easy. Many people resist it because they fear boredom, discomfort, or even confrontation with unresolved emotions. But as Carl Jung once said, "Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakens." Silence invites us to look inward, to confront the parts of ourselves we've been avoiding, and to emerge stronger and wiser. If you're feeling hesitant about embracing silence, remember this: you don't need to start big. Begin with just 1 minute of quiet reflection each day. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. Notice how your body feels. Observe your thoughts without judgment. Over time, gradually increase the duration of your practice. The key is consistency. Just like any other skill, cultivating silence requires patience and dedication. But the rewards are worth it. As you deepen your practice, you'll notice subtle yet profound changes in your life. You'll feel calmer, more focused, and more connected to yourself and others. 4. Practical steps to embrace silence in a noisy world. Now that we've explored why silence matters, let's talk about how to incorporate it into your daily life, even in the busiest environments. Here are some practical strategies to help you get started. Step 1. Create silence zones in your day. Identify specific times or places where you can disconnect from noise and distractions. This could be your morning routine, your lunch break, or even your commute. For example, instead of listening to podcasts or music during your drive, try driving in silence. Use this time to reflect on your goals, express gratitude, or simply enjoy the stillness. Step 2. Set boundaries with technology. Technology is one of the biggest sources of noise in our lives. To reclaim your peace, establish clear boundaries with your devices. Designate tech-free hours each day, especially before bed and upon waking. Turn off unnecessary notifications, and resist the urge to check your phone during quiet moments. Step 3. Practice mindful listening. Mindful listening is the art of paying full attention to the present moment without judgment. Whether you're having a conversation with someone or simply sitting in nature, practice tuning into the sounds around you. Notice the rustling of leaves, the chirping of birds, or the rhythm of your own breath. This simple act can help you cultivate a deeper appreciation for silence. Step 4. Use silence as a tool for decision-making. When faced with a difficult decision, take a step back and sit in silence. Allow yourself to detach from external pressures and listen to your inner voice. Often, the answers we seek are already within us, we just need to create the space to hear them. Step 5. Start small and build momentum. If the idea of sitting in silence for 10 or 15 minutes feels daunting, start with just 1 minute. Gradually increase the duration as you become more comfortable. Remember, the goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Conclusion to Chapter 1. In this chapter, we've explored the overwhelming noise epidemic of modern life and why silence has become a rare but essential treasure. We've uncovered the science behind silence and its profound impact on our mental, emotional, and physical well-being. We've also discussed the paradox of seeking silence and shared practical strategies to help you embrace it in your daily life. As we move forward, keep this thought in mind: silence is not something you find, it's something you create. It's a choice to step away from the noise and reconnect with your true self. And while the journey may feel challenging at times, the rewards are immeasurable. Before we dive into the next chapter, I want to leave you with this quote from Rumi. Silence is the language of God, all else is poor translation. Let silence be your guide as you continue this wisdom journey. Chapter 2. The Science Behind Silence, Unlocking Its Hidden Powers. In this chapter, we'll uncover the fascinating science behind silence and how it positively impacts your brain, body, and emotions. While Chapter 1 explored the noise epidemic and why silence matters, this chapter dives deeper into the biological, psychological, and neurological mechanisms that make silence so transformative. You might be wondering, how exactly does silence affect us? Is it just a feeling of calm, or is there something more profound happening beneath the surface? The truth is, silence isn't just a passive state, it's an active process that rewires your brain, restores your body, and rejuvenates your spirit. By the end of this chapter, you'll have a clear understanding of how silence works its magic, and why it's one of the most powerful tools for personal growth and well-being. Let's begin by exploring how silence affects the brain, a complex organ that plays a central role in shaping our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. 1. How silence affects the brain. The human brain is an incredible machine, capable of processing vast amounts of information every second. But like any machine, it requires downtime to function optimally. Unfortunately, in today's fast-paced world, we rarely give our brains the rest they need. Instead, we bombard them with constant stimuli, notifications, conversations, entertainment, and more. This relentless input leaves our brains overworked, fatigued, and prone to errors. So, what happens when we introduce silence into the equation? Let's take a closer look at the science. A. Silence boosts creativity and problem solving. Research shows that silence enhances creativity and problem-solving abilities. A study conducted by psychologists at the University of Kansas found that participants who spent time in quiet environments generated more innovative ideas compared to those exposed to noise. Why? Because silence allows the brain to enter a state of default mode network (DMN) activity. The DMN is a network of brain regions that becomes active when we're not focused on external tasks. It's responsible for self-reflection, daydreaming, and making connections between seemingly unrelated concepts. In other words, silence gives your brain the freedom to wander, explore, and create. As Albert Einstein once said, "I live in that solitude which is painful in youth but delicious in the years of maturity." For Einstein, silence wasn't just a preference, it was a necessity for his groundbreaking discoveries. B. Silence reduces stress and anxiety. Another remarkable effect of silence is its ability to reduce stress and anxiety. When we're exposed to noise, our brains release cortisol, a hormone associated with the fight or flight response. Chronic exposure to high cortisol levels can lead to a host of health issues, including insomnia, weight gain, and weakened immunity. Silence, on the other hand, has the opposite effect. A study published in the journal Frontiers in Psychology found that just 2 minutes of silence significantly lowered cortisol levels in participants. Even more surprising? Silence was more effective at reducing stress than listening to relaxing music. This finding underscores the importance of giving yourself permission to pause. Whether it's stepping away from a chaotic work environment or simply closing your eyes for a few moments, silence can help reset your nervous system and restore balance. C. Silence enhances memory and learning. Silence also plays a critical role in memory and learning. Neuroscientists have discovered that periods of quiet reflection strengthen neural connections in the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for storing and retrieving memories. This means that taking breaks during study sessions or work projects can actually improve retention and performance. For example, imagine you're preparing for an important presentation. Instead of cramming nonstop, try incorporating short periods of silence into your preparation. Use these moments to review key points, visualize success, or simply breathe deeply. You'll likely find that your mind feels sharper and more focused when you return to the task. As Leonardo da Vinci wisely noted, "Nothing strengthens authority so much as silence." In this context, silence strengthens not only authority but also mental clarity and cognitive function. 2. Physical benefits of silence. Now that we've explored how silence impacts the brain, let's shift our focus to its effects on the body. While the mental benefits of silence are well documented, its physical advantages are equally impressive and often overlooked. A. Lower blood pressure and improved heart health. One of the most significant physical benefits of silence is its ability to lower blood pressure and improve heart health. A study conducted by researchers at Lund University in Sweden found that participants who spent time in silent environments experienced reduced heart rates and improved circulation. These changes were attributed to the calming effect of silence on the autonomic nervous system, which regulates involuntary functions such as breathing and digestion. High blood pressure is a major risk factor for cardiovascular disease, stroke, and other serious conditions. By incorporating silence into your daily routine, you can take proactive steps to protect your heart and overall health. B. Better sleep quality. If you struggle with insomnia or restless nights, silence may hold the key to better sleep. Noise pollution is a leading cause of sleep disturbances, as it disrupts the body's natural circadian rhythm. Even low-level background noise can prevent you from entering deep, restorative stages of sleep. Creating a silent sleep environment can make a world of difference. Try using earplugs, white noise machines, or blackout curtains to block out unwanted sounds. Additionally, practicing mindfulness or meditation before bed can help quiet your mind and prepare your body for rest. C. Enhanced immune function. Believe it or not, silence can even boost your immune system. Chronic stress weakens the body's defenses, making you more susceptible to illness and infection. By reducing stress levels, silence helps strengthen your immune response, allowing you to fight off pathogens more effectively. A study published in the journal Psychoneuroendocrinology found that participants who engaged in silent meditation experienced increased production of antibodies, a clear sign of improved immune function. This suggests that silence isn't just good for your mind, it's good for your body too. 3. Emotional healing through silence. Finally, let's discuss how silence facilitates emotional healing. In a world that often encourages us to suppress or ignore our feelings, silence provides a safe space to process and release emotions. A. Processing trauma and difficult emotions. For individuals dealing with trauma or grief, silence can be a powerful tool for healing. Therapists often recommend practices like silent journaling or mindful breathing to help clients connect with their inner experiences. By sitting quietly and observing their thoughts and feelings without judgment, people can begin to untangle complex emotions and find peace. Take the story of Maya, a woman who lost her husband in a car accident. Overwhelmed by grief, she initially avoided silence, fearing it would amplify her pain. However, with the guidance of a counselor, she began practicing silent meditation. At first, the experience was difficult, bringing up waves of sadness and anger. But over time, Maya noticed a shift. She started to feel lighter, more grounded, and eventually able to honor her husband's memory without being consumed by sorrow. B. Cultivating gratitude and joy. Silence isn't just for processing pain, it's also a gateway to gratitude and joy. When we pause and reflect, we become more aware of life's blessings, no matter how small. This awareness fosters a sense of contentment and fulfillment that transcends external circumstances. To cultivate gratitude through silence, try this simple exercise. Sit quietly for 5 minutes and think about 3 things you're thankful for. They could be as simple as a warm cup of coffee or a kind word from a friend. As you focus on these positives, notice how your mood shifts. As Helen Keller beautifully expressed, "The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched, they must be felt with the heart." Silence allows us to tap into this deeper level of feeling, enriching our emotional lives in ways words alone cannot capture. C. Strengthening relationships through silent presence. Silence isn't just a personal practice, it can also transform our relationships. In a world where conversations are often filled with interruptions, distractions, and the need to fill the void, silence offers a rare opportunity for genuine connection. When we sit in silence with someone, we communicate presence and empathy without saying a word. This is especially powerful during moments of shared grief, celebration, or simply quiet companionship. For example, imagine sitting beside a loved one who is going through a difficult time. Instead of rushing to offer advice or fill the space with words, your silent presence can convey understanding, support, and love more deeply than any conversation ever could. As Mother Teresa once said, "Peace begins with a smile." Similarly, peace and connection can begin with silence. By embracing silence in our interactions, we create space for authentic communication and emotional intimacy. D. Overcoming the fear of silence. While silence has countless benefits, many people resist it because they fear what might surface: uncomfortable emotions, unresolved conflicts, or even boredom. However, avoiding silence only prolongs these challenges. The truth is, facing discomfort is often the first step toward growth. If you're hesitant to embrace silence, start small. Begin with just 1 minute of stillness each day. Focus on your breath, observe your surroundings, or simply allow yourself to be. Over time, you'll likely discover that silence isn't something to fear, it's something to cherish. 4. Real-life stories, transformations through silence. To bring the science of silence to life, let's explore 2 inspiring stories of individuals who harnessed its power to overcome adversity and achieve profound personal growth. Story 1, From Burnout to Balance, Sarah's Journey. Sarah was a high-powered executive working 80-hour weeks at a Fortune 500 company. Her days were a blur of meetings, emails, and deadlines, leaving her physically exhausted and emotionally drained. Despite her outward success, she felt empty and disconnected from her true self. One day, a colleague suggested she try a mindfulness retreat, a weekend dedicated to silence and reflection. Skeptical but desperate for change, Sarah decided to give it a shot. For 48 hours, she turned off her phone, stepped away from work, and immersed herself in silence. At first, the experience was uncomfortable. Without the constant noise of her busy life, she was forced to confront feelings of inadequacy, fear, and burnout. But as the hours passed, something remarkable happened. Sarah began to notice subtle shifts within herself. She felt calmer, more grounded, and more aware of her thoughts and emotions. By the end of the retreat, she had gained clarity about her priorities and values. She returned to work with renewed energy and purpose, setting boundaries to protect her time and well-being. Today, Sarah credits silence with saving her career and her life. She now incorporates daily moments of quiet reflection into her routine, using them to stay centered and focused amidst the chaos. Story 2: Healing Through Stillness, James' Path to Recovery. James was a combat veteran struggling with PTSD after returning home from deployment. Haunted by memories of war, he found it difficult to connect with loved ones or find joy in everyday activities. Traditional therapies provided some relief, but James still felt trapped in a cycle of anxiety and isolation. During a therapy session, his counselor introduced him to the concept of silent meditation. At first, James resisted, fearing that silence would amplify his pain. But with encouragement, he began practicing for just 5 minutes a day. Slowly, he increased the duration, using the time to breathe deeply and observe his thoughts without judgment. Over months of consistent practice, James noticed significant improvements in his mental health. He became better able to manage triggers, sleep more soundly, and reconnect with his family. Silence didn't erase his trauma, but it gave him the tools to process it in a healthy way. James' story is a testament to the transformative power of silence, not just as a coping mechanism but as a pathway to healing and resilience. Conclusion to Chapter 2. In this chapter, we've uncovered the incredible science behind silence and how it impacts the brain, body, and emotions. We've explored how silence boosts creativity, reduces stress, enhances memory, lowers blood pressure, improves sleep, and strengthens the immune system. We've also seen how silence facilitates emotional healing, fosters gratitude, and deepens relationships. Through real-life stories like Sarah's journey from burnout to balance, and James' path to recovery, we've witnessed firsthand the transformative potential of silence. These examples remind us that silence isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity for living a healthy, fulfilling life. As we move forward, I want to leave you with this thought from Victor Hugo. Music expresses that which cannot be put into words and that which cannot remain silent. Silence, much like music, speaks directly to the soul. It invites us to listen, not to the noise of the world, but to the whispers of our own hearts. In the next chapter, we'll dive into practical strategies for finding silence in a noisy world. Until then, take a moment to pause, breathe, and reflect on the insights you've gained so far. Your journey toward mastering the power of silence continues. Chapter 3: Finding Silence in a Noisy World, Practical Strategies. In this chapter, we'll shift from theory to practice. You now understand the profound impact of silence on your brain, body, and emotions, but how do you actually incorporate it into your daily life? In a world that glorifies busyness and constant connectivity, finding silence can feel like an impossible task. The good news is that silence doesn't require drastic changes or elaborate rituals. It's about creating small, intentional moments of stillness that add up over time. Whether you're juggling a demanding career, raising a family, or navigating the challenges of modern life, there are practical strategies you can use to reclaim your peace and focus. By the end of this chapter, you'll have a toolbox of actionable techniques to help you find silence, even in the busiest environments. From morning routines to mindful breaks, these strategies are designed to fit seamlessly into your life. Let's begin by exploring how to create moments of silence throughout your day. 1. creating moments of silence. Silence doesn't have to be a long, uninterrupted stretch of time. Even brief pauses can have a profound impact on your well-being. Here are some simple yet powerful ways to incorporate silence into your daily routine. A. Start your day with silence. How you begin your day sets the tone for everything that follows. Instead of reaching for your phone or diving into emails first thing in the morning, try starting with a few minutes of silence. This could mean sitting quietly with a cup of tea, practicing deep breathing, or simply gazing out the window. For example, imagine waking up 10 minutes earlier than usual. Use this time to sit in stillness, focusing on your breath and setting an intention for the day ahead. You might ask yourself, what do I want to accomplish today? How do I want to show up for myself and others? These quiet moments of reflection can help you approach the day with clarity and purpose. As Lao Tzu wisely said, "Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished." By slowing down and embracing silence at the start of your day, you align yourself with the natural rhythm of life. B. Take silent breaks throughout the day. Our brains aren't designed to focus for hours on end without rest. Research shows that taking regular breaks improves productivity, creativity, and overall well-being. The key is to make these breaks meaningful. Instead of scrolling through social media or checking emails, use them as opportunities for silence. Here's a simple technique. Set a timer for every 90 minutes of work, then take a 5 to 10 minute break. During this time, step away from your desk, close your eyes, and breathe deeply. If possible, go outside and immerse yourself in nature. Listen to the sounds around you, the rustling of leaves, the chirping of birds, or the gentle hum of the wind. Even if you're stuck indoors, you can still create moments of silence. Close your office door, put on noise-canceling headphones, or find a quiet corner where you can sit undisturbed. These mini breaks allow your brain to reset and recharge, making you more effective when you return to your tasks. C. End your day with reflection. Just as starting your day with silence sets a positive tone, ending it with quiet reflection helps you process the events of the day and prepare for restful sleep. Before bed, set aside 5 to 10 minutes to sit in silence. Reflect on what went well, what challenged you, and what you're grateful for. You might also try journaling during this time. Write down your thoughts, feelings, and insights without judgment. This practice not only clears your mind but also fosters self-awareness and emotional healing. As you drift off to sleep, let go of any lingering worries or distractions. Remind yourself that tomorrow is a new opportunity to embrace silence and live intentionally. 2. Designing a silent environment. Creating silence isn't just about changing your habits, it's also about designing your environment to support stillness. Here are some practical tips to help you cultivate a peaceful space at home or work. A. Declutter your space. Clutter is a form of visual noise that can overwhelm your senses and distract your mind. Take time to declutter your living and working spaces. Remove unnecessary items, organize your belongings, and create a clean, minimalist aesthetic. A clutter-free environment promotes calmness and focus, making it easier to embrace silence. As Marie Kondo famously said, "Keep only those things that speak to your heart." Surround yourself with objects that bring you joy and eliminate anything that causes stress or distraction. B. Use soundproofing techniques. If external noise is a challenge, consider investing in soundproofing solutions. For example, you can install heavy curtains, rugs, or acoustic panels to muffle unwanted sounds. Earplugs or white noise machines are also effective tools for blocking out distractions. At work, you might use noise-canceling headphones or designate a quiet zone where colleagues know not to disturb you. Communicate your boundaries clearly and respectfully. Most people will understand if you explain the importance of silence for your productivity and well-being. C. Incorporate nature sounds. While complete silence is ideal, sometimes soft background sounds can enhance relaxation. Nature sounds like rain, ocean waves, or birdsong mimic the calming effects of silence while masking disruptive noises. You can play these sounds using apps, YouTube playlists, or dedicated devices. Alternatively, place a small fountain or wind chime in your home to create soothing ambient noise. These subtle additions can transform your environment into a sanctuary of peace. 3. Silent reflection techniques. Now that you've created moments of silence and designed a supportive environment, let's explore techniques to deepen your practice. Silent reflection is a powerful tool for self-discovery, emotional healing, and personal growth. Here are 3 methods to try. A. Journaling in silence. Journaling is a form of silent dialogue with yourself. It allows you to process thoughts, emotions, and experiences in a safe, private space. To get started, set aside 10 to 15 minutes of uninterrupted time. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and take a few deep breaths. Then, open your journal and begin writing whatever comes to mind. There are no rules, just let your thoughts flow freely. You might write about your goals, challenges, dreams, or gratitude. Over time, you'll notice patterns and insights that guide your personal development. B. Visualization exercises. Visualization is another powerful technique for harnessing the power of silence. Find a quiet spot, close your eyes, and imagine a scene that brings you peace: a serene beach, a lush forest, or a cozy cabin. Engage all your senses. What do you see? Hear? Smell? Feel? Visualization not only calms your mind but also programs your subconscious for success. For instance, if you're preparing for an important event, visualize yourself succeeding. Picture every detail, the sights, sounds, and emotions, and feel the confidence radiating through you. C. Gratitude practices. Gratitude is one of the simplest yet most transformative practices you can adopt. In silence, take a few moments to reflect on the things you're thankful for. They don't have to be grand gestures. Sometimes the smallest blessings carry the greatest meaning. To amplify this practice, keep a gratitude journal. Each day, write down 3 things you appreciate. Over time, this habit shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance, helping you find joy even in challenging circumstances. 4. Embracing silence in everyday activities. Silence doesn't have to be confined to meditation or structured practices. It can also be woven into your daily activities. By bringing mindfulness and intentionality to routine tasks, you can turn ordinary moments into opportunities for stillness and reflection. Here's how. A. Silent commuting. For many people, commuting is a source of stress and frustration. But what if you could transform this time into a peaceful sanctuary? Instead of listening to podcasts, music, or audiobooks, try commuting in silence. Use the time to observe your surroundings, breathe deeply, or simply let your mind wander. If you're driving, focus on the rhythm of your breath and the sensation of your hands on the steering wheel. If you're on public transport, close your eyes and tune into the subtle sounds around you, the hum of the engine, the distant chatter of passengers, or the gentle sway of the vehicle. These small acts of presence can turn an otherwise mundane experience into a moment of calm. B. Mindful eating. Eating is another activity that often happens on autopilot. We rush through meals while scrolling through our phones, watching TV, or multitasking at work. But when was the last time you truly savored your food? Mindful eating is the practice of consuming meals in silence, paying full attention to the flavors, textures, and aromas of each bite. Before you begin, take a moment to express gratitude for the nourishment before you. As you eat, chew slowly and savor every mouthful. Notice how the food feels in your mouth and how it satisfies your hunger. This practice not only enhances your dining experience but also improves digestion and helps you recognize when you're full. It's a simple yet powerful way to cultivate mindfulness in everyday life. C. Silent walking. Walking is one of the most accessible forms of exercise, and when done in silence, it becomes a meditative practice. Whether you're strolling through a park, hiking in nature, or simply walking around your neighborhood, leave your headphones behind and immerse yourself in the experience. Pay attention to the sensations in your body as you move, the rhythm of your footsteps, the swing of your arms, the rise and fall of your breath. Observe the sights, sounds, and smells around you. If your mind starts to wander, gently bring your focus back to the present moment. Silent walking is a wonderful way to clear your mind, recharge your energy, and connect with the world around you. As Henry David Thoreau once said, I took a walk in the woods and came out taller than the trees. Let silence elevate your perspective and remind you of life's beauty. 5. Overcoming challenges to finding silence. While the benefits of silence are undeniable, incorporating it into your life isn't always easy. Here are some common challenges and practical solutions to help you stay committed to your practice. A. Dealing with resistance. It's natural to feel resistant to silence, especially if you're used to constant stimulation. You might find yourself feeling restless, bored, or even anxious during silent moments. This discomfort is a sign that your mind is adjusting to a new way of being. To overcome resistance, start small. Begin with just 1 minute of silence per day and gradually increase the duration as you become more comfortable. Remind yourself that silence is a skill, one that improves with consistent practice. B. Managing external distractions. Noise from family members, roommates, coworkers, or neighbors can make it difficult to find silence. While you can't control everything in your environment, you can set boundaries and communicate your needs. For example, let those around you know when you need uninterrupted time for reflection or relaxation. Use signs like "Do not disturb" or schedule specific hours for silence. If noise persists, invest in tools like earplugs or white noise machines to create a buffer. C. Staying consistent. Like any habit, consistency is key to reaping the rewards of silence. To build momentum, anchor your practice to existing routines. For instance, pair your morning silence session with brushing your teeth or drinking coffee. Linking new behaviors to established ones increases the likelihood of sticking with them. Additionally, track your progress using a journal or app. Celebrate milestones along the way, whether it's completing 7 consecutive days of silence or noticing improvements in your mood and focus. These small wins will keep you motivated and inspired. 6. Real-life example: transforming chaos into calm. Let me share a story that illustrates the power of these strategies. Meet Emily, a single mother of 2 young children who struggled to find peace amidst the chaos of her daily life. Between parenting, working part-time, and managing household responsibilities, she felt constantly overwhelmed and disconnected from herself. Determined to reclaim her sanity, Emily decided to experiment with silence. She started by waking up 15 minutes earlier than usual to sit quietly with a cup of tea. At first, her mind raced with thoughts about her to-do list, but over time, she learned to let go and simply be present. Next, she designated a corner of her living room as a silent zone, complete with a cozy chair, soft lighting, and a few plants. Whenever possible, she retreated to this space for short breaks throughout the day. Evenings became sacred time for reflection, where she journaled about her experiences and expressed gratitude for the little joys in life. Over months of consistent practice, Emily noticed significant changes. She felt calmer, more patient, and better equipped to handle challenges. Her relationships with her children improved, and she rediscovered passions she had long neglected, like painting and gardening. Emily's story reminds us that silence isn't about escaping life's demands. It's about finding balance and resilience within them. With commitment and creativity, anyone can carve out moments of stillness, even in the busiest circumstances. Conclusion to Chapter 3. In this chapter, we've explored practical strategies for finding silence in a noisy world. From creating moments of stillness and designing a supportive environment to embracing mindfulness in everyday activities, these techniques empower you to reclaim your peace and focus. We've also discussed common challenges and how to overcome them, ensuring that your journey towards silence remains sustainable and rewarding. Through real-life examples like Emily's transformation, we've seen firsthand the profound impact of integrating silence into daily life. As we move forward, remember this insight from Mahatma Gandhi. The future depends on what you do today. Every moment of silence you embrace brings you closer to a life of clarity, purpose, and fulfillment. In the next chapter, we'll delve into the art of listening, both inwardly and outwardly, and explore how it deepens your connection to yourself and the world around you. Until then, take a moment to pause, breathe, and reflect on the progress you've made so far. Your wisdom journey continues. Chapter 4: The Art of Listening, Embracing Inner and Outer Silence. In this chapter, we'll explore the profound art of listening, a skill that is both simple and transformative. Listening is not just about hearing sounds, it's about truly understanding, connecting, and being present. In a world filled with noise and distractions, many of us have forgotten how to listen, not only to others but also to ourselves. Listening is a bridge between silence and action. It allows us to tune into our inner voice, process emotions, and make decisions aligned with our values. At the same time, it helps us connect deeply with the people and world around us. By mastering the art of listening, we unlock the full potential of silence as a tool for personal growth and meaningful relationships. By the end of this chapter, you'll understand the difference between active listening and passive hearing, learn how to cultivate inner and outer listening, and discover practical techniques to deepen your connection with yourself and others. Let's begin by exploring the importance of active listening skills. 1. Active listening skills. Active listening is the foundation of effective communication. It involves fully focusing on the speaker, understanding their message, and responding thoughtfully. Unfortunately, most of us don't truly listen. We're often distracted, thinking about what to say next, or simply waiting for our turn to speak. Here's why active listening matters, and how you can master it. A. Why most people don't truly listen. Think about your last conversation. Were you fully present, or were you multitasking, checking your phone, planning your response, or letting your mind wander? If you're like most people, chances are you weren't fully engaged. Research shows that humans only retain about 25 to 50% of what they hear during conversations. This lack of attentiveness leads to misunderstandings, miscommunication, and weakened relationships. But when we practice active listening, we create space for empathy, trust, and deeper connections. As Stephen R. Covey famously said in The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, most people do not listen with the intent to understand, they listen with the intent to reply. True listening requires setting aside our own agendas and opening ourselves to the other person's perspective. B. How to improve active listening. Improving your active listening skills takes practice, but the rewards are immense. Here are some strategies to help you become a better listener. 1. Give your full attention. Put away distractions, your phone, laptop, or any other devices, and face the speaker directly. Maintain eye contact and use nonverbal cues like nodding or smiling to show you're engaged. 2. Listen without interrupting. Resist the urge to jump in with advice, opinions, or solutions. Instead, let the speaker finish their thoughts completely before responding. Sometimes, all someone needs is to feel heard. 3. Reflect and paraphrase. After the speaker finishes, summarize what they've said in your own words. For example, it sounds like you're feeling overwhelmed because of your workload. Is that right? This ensures you've understood correctly and validates the speaker's feelings. 4. Ask open-ended questions. Encourage deeper dialogue by asking questions that require more than a yes/no answer. For instance, can you tell me more about how that made you feel? Or, what would help you move forward? 5. Practice empathy. Try to put yourself in the speaker's shoes. Imagine how they might be feeling and respond with compassion. Even if you don't agree with them, acknowledging their emotions fosters mutual respect. By honing these skills, you'll not only improve your relationships but also create an environment where others feel valued and understood. 2. Inner listening, tuning into your true self. While active listening strengthens our connections with others, inner listening deepens our relationship with ourselves. Inner listening is the practice of tuning into your thoughts, emotions, and intuition. It's about creating space to hear your inner voice, the part of you that knows what truly matters. Here's how to cultivate inner listening. A. Identifying your inner voice amidst external noise. Our inner voice is often drowned out by external demands, societal expectations, and self-doubt. To reconnect with it, start by carving out moments of silence each day. Sit quietly, close your eyes, and ask yourself, what do I really want? What brings me joy? What fears or beliefs are holding me back? At first, your answers may feel unclear or contradictory. That's okay. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Over time, you'll notice patterns and insights that guide your decisions and actions. B. Recognizing limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are negative thoughts that keep us stuck in fear, doubt, or insecurity. Examples include, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve happiness, or I'll never succeed. These beliefs often stem from past experiences or societal conditioning. Through inner listening, you can identify and challenge these beliefs. When a limiting thought arises, pause and ask yourself, is this belief true? Where did it come from? How does it serve me, or hold me back? Then, replace it with an empowering affirmation, such as, I am capable, I am worthy, or I am learning and growing every day. C. Using silence to make decisions. Silence is a powerful ally when making important decisions. Instead of rushing to conclusions, take time to sit quietly and reflect. Ask yourself, what aligns with my values? What feels authentic to me? What long-term impact will this decision have on my life? For example, imagine you're considering a career change. Spend a few days in silence, journaling about your aspirations, fears, and motivations. Pay attention to how different options make you feel, not just logically, but emotionally. Often, your intuition will provide clarity that logic alone cannot. As Eckhart Tolle reminds us, realize deeply that the present moment is all you ever have. Inner listening grounds you in the present, helping you navigate life with wisdom and intention. 3. Outer listening, connecting with nature and others. Now that we've explored inner listening, let's turn our attention outward. Outer listening is the practice of tuning into the world around you, whether it's the beauty of nature, the wisdom of loved ones, or the lessons hidden in everyday moments. A. The healing power of nature's silence. Nature is one of the greatest teachers of silence. Whether it's the rustling of leaves, the chirping of birds, or the gentle flow of water, natural sounds invite us to slow down and appreciate the present moment. To experience this healing power, spend time outdoors in silence. Leave your phone behind and immerse yourself in the sights, sounds, and sensations of your surroundings. Walk barefoot on grass, touch the bark of a tree, or sit by a riverbank. Notice how your body responds, your breathing slows, your mind quiets, and your heart opens. Studies show that spending time in nature reduces stress, boosts mood, and enhances creativity. As John Muir once said, the clearest way into the universe is through a forest wilderness. Let nature remind you of life's simplicity and beauty. B. Building deeper connections through empathetic listening. Empathetic listening goes beyond active listening. It's about truly stepping into someone else's shoes. When you listen empathetically, you create a safe space for vulnerability and trust. Here's how to practice empathetic listening. 1. Be fully present without judgment. 2. Validate the speaker's feelings, even if you don't agree with their perspective. 3. Offer support rather than solutions unless asked. For example, imagine a friend confiding in you about a difficult breakup. Instead of offering advice, say something like, "That sounds incredibly painful. I'm here for you." This simple act of presence can mean more than any words ever could. C. Listening to life's subtle lessons. Life speaks to us in whispers, if we're willing to listen. Pay attention to the small details, a stranger's smile, a child's laughter, or the warmth of sunlight on your skin. These moments carry profound lessons about gratitude, love, and resilience. To sharpen your outer listening skills, adopt a mindset of curiosity. Approach each day as an opportunity to learn and grow. Ask yourself, what can this moment teach me? How can I show up more fully right now? As Rumi beautifully expressed, you are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. Outer listening reminds us that we are interconnected with everything around us, and that every interaction holds meaning. 4. The role of silence in deepening listening skills. Silence plays a pivotal role in enhancing both inner and outer listening. It acts as a buffer, allowing us to process information more deeply and respond with greater awareness. Let's explore how silence amplifies our ability to listen effectively. A. Silence as a pause for reflection. In conversations, silence often feels uncomfortable, but it's actually a powerful tool for reflection. When someone shares something meaningful, resist the urge to fill the gap immediately. Instead, allow a moment of silence to let their words sink in. This pause gives you time to digest what they've said and respond thoughtfully rather than reactively. For example, imagine a colleague expressing frustration about a project. After they finish speaking, take a breath before replying. This brief silence signals that you're considering their perspective, which fosters trust and respect. B. Using silence to strengthen intuition. Silence also sharpens our intuition, the gut feeling that guides us toward truth and authenticity. By quieting external noise and internal chatter, we create space to hear our inner wisdom. To harness this power, practice sitting in silence for 5 to 10 minutes each day. Focus on your breath and observe any thoughts or sensations that arise. Over time, you'll notice subtle nudges, feelings of excitement, unease, or clarity, that point you in the right direction. As Albert Schweitzer once said, "Example is not the main thing in influencing others, it is the only thing." Similarly, silence influences our ability to listen deeply and act authentically. 5. Real-life stories, lessons from master listeners. To bring these concepts to life, let's explore 2 inspiring stories of individuals who transformed their lives through the art of listening. Story 1, From Conflict to Connection, Mark's Journey. Mark was a manager at a tech startup known for his quick decision-making and no-nonsense approach. However, his leadership style often led to conflicts with his team. Employees felt unheard and undervalued, resulting in low morale and high turnover rates. Determined to improve, Mark attended a workshop on active listening. He learned to slow down, ask open-ended questions, and validate his team's concerns. At first, it felt unnatural. He was used to solving problems quickly rather than taking time to understand them. But as he practiced these skills, something remarkable happened. His team began sharing ideas more freely, collaborating more effectively, and taking ownership of projects. Today, Mark credits listening with transforming not only his leadership but also his personal relationships. He now approaches every interaction with curiosity and empathy, creating an environment where people feel seen and supported. Story 2, Nature's Whisper, Anna's Awakening. Anna was a corporate lawyer living in the heart of New York City. Her days were filled with deadlines, client meetings, and late-night work sessions. Despite her success, she felt disconnected from herself and the world around her. One weekend, she decided to escape the city and spend time alone in the mountains. Without her phone or agenda, she immersed herself in nature's silence. She listened to the wind rustling through the trees, watched the sun rise over the horizon, and marveled at the stars twinkling in the night sky. During this retreat, Anna realized how much she had been neglecting her own needs. She returned to the city with a renewed sense of purpose, setting boundaries at work and prioritizing activities that brought her joy. Nature's silence had awakened her to the importance of balance and self-care. These stories highlight the transformative power of listening, both inwardly and outwardly. Whether it's resolving conflicts, building connections, or rediscovering oneself, silence amplifies our ability to truly hear and be heard. 6. Practical exercises to enhance your listening skills. Now that you understand the theory behind listening, let's put it into practice. Here are 3 exercises to help you deepen your inner and outer listening skills. Exercise 1, the 5-minute silence challenge. Set a timer for 5 minutes and sit in complete silence. Focus on your breath and observe any thoughts, emotions, or physical sensations that arise. If your mind wanders, gently bring your attention back to the present moment. Use this exercise daily to strengthen your inner listening abilities. Exercise 2, the empathy walk. Take a walk outdoors and focus on observing your surroundings. Listen to the sounds of nature, notice the colors and textures around you, and pay attention to how your body feels. As you walk, reflect on a recent interaction with someone close to you. What did they say? How did they feel? Practice empathetic listening by imagining their perspective and validating their emotions. Exercise 3, the reflective conversation. Choose a trusted friend or family member, and have a conversation focused entirely on listening. Give them your full attention without interrupting or offering advice. After they finish speaking, paraphrase what they said and ask follow-up questions to deepen your understanding. Notice how this approach strengthens your connection with them. Conclusion to Chapter 4. In this chapter, we've explored the art of listening, a skill that bridges silence and action. We've discussed the importance of active listening, delved into the practice of inner and outer listening, and examined how silence enhances our ability to connect with ourselves and others. Through real-life stories like Mark's transformational leadership journey and Anna's awakening in nature, we've seen how listening can heal relationships, inspire growth, and awaken our true selves. These examples remind us that listening isn't just a passive act, it's an active choice to show up fully in every moment. As we move forward, remember this insight from Thich Nhat Hanh. Deep listening is the kind of listening that can help relieve the suffering of another person. Whether you're tuning into your own voice or the voices of those around you, listening has the power to transform lives, including your own. In the next chapter, we'll dive into transformative stories of individuals who harness the power of silence to overcome adversity and achieve extraordinary success. Until then, take a moment to pause, breathe, and reflect on the lessons you've gained so far. Your wisdom journey continues. Chapter 5. Transformative Stories, Real-Life Examples of Silence's Power. In this chapter, we'll dive into the heart of transformation through silence. While theories and strategies are essential, real-life stories have a unique way of inspiring us to take action. These narratives remind us that silence is not just an abstract concept, it's a tangible force that can reshape lives. Here, we'll explore 3 powerful case studies of individuals who harness the power of silence to overcome challenges, heal wounds, and unlock their true potential. Each story highlights a different aspect of silence's transformative impact, from finding balance in chaos to healing emotional pain and unleashing creativity. As you read these accounts, I invite you to reflect on your own life. Where could silence make a difference for you? How might embracing stillness help you navigate your unique journey? Let's begin with a story of resilience and renewal. 1. Case Study 1, From Burnout to Balance. Meet Rachel, a high-achieving marketing executive in her mid-30s who seemed to have it all: a thriving career, a loving family, and a bustling social life. But beneath the surface, Rachel was drowning. Her days were a blur of back-to-back meetings, endless emails, and late-night work sessions. She rarely took breaks, believing that staying busy was the key to success. Over time, the signs of burnout became impossible to ignore. Rachel felt constantly exhausted, irritable, and disconnected from her loved ones. She struggled to focus at work and often snapped at colleagues over minor issues. Desperate for change, she decided to try something radical: a week-long silent retreat in the mountains. At first, the experience was excruciating. Without the constant distractions of technology and conversation, Rachel was forced to confront uncomfortable truths about herself. She realized how much she had been using busyness as a shield, to avoid facing deeper fears of inadequacy and failure. But as the days passed, something remarkable happened. In the absence of noise, Rachel began to reconnect with her inner voice. She spent hours walking in nature, journaling, and meditating. Slowly, she uncovered a sense of clarity and purpose she hadn't felt in years. By the end of the retreat, she had developed a plan to reclaim her life. Rachel returned to work with renewed energy and intention. She set boundaries to protect her time, prioritized self-care, and made space for creative pursuits she had long neglected. Most importantly, she committed to incorporating moments of silence into her daily routine, whether it was a morning meditation session or a quiet walk during lunch. Today, Rachel credits silence with saving her career and her sanity. She no longer equates productivity with exhaustion and has learned to find joy in the present moment. Her story is a testament to the power of silence to restore balance and reignite passion. As Rachel reflects, silence taught me that I don't have to do everything to be enough. Sometimes, doing nothing is exactly what I need. 2. Case Study 2, Healing Through Stillness. Next, let's turn to James, a former soldier grappling with PTSD after returning home from deployment. For years, he struggled to adjust to civilian life. Haunted by memories of war, he found it difficult to connect with loved ones or find meaning in everyday activities. Traditional therapies provided some relief, but James still felt trapped in a cycle of anxiety, anger, and isolation. One day, a therapist introduced him to the concept of mindfulness meditation, a practice rooted in silence and stillness. Skeptical but desperate for change, James decided to give it a try. He started small, committing to just 5 minutes of silent meditation each day. At first, the experience was overwhelming. Sitting quietly forced James to confront emotions he had buried for years: grief, guilt, fear. There were moments when he wanted to quit, convinced that silence only amplified his pain. But with persistence, he began to notice subtle shifts. Over time, James discovered that silence wasn't just a trigger for discomfort, it was also a source of healing. By observing his thoughts and feelings without judgment, he learned to process them in healthier ways. Meditation helped him manage triggers, sleep more soundly, and reconnect with his family. James' breakthrough came during a weekend camping trip. Alone under the stars, he allowed himself to fully embrace the stillness. For the first time in years, he felt a deep sense of peace, not because his trauma had disappeared, but because he had found tools to cope with it. Today, James is a vocal advocate for mindfulness and meditation. He leads workshops for veterans, teaching them how to use silence as a pathway to healing. His story reminds us that silence isn't about erasing pain, it's about creating space to heal and grow. As James shares, silence doesn't fix everything, but it gives you the strength to face what needs fixing. 3. Case Study 3, Creativity Unleashed. Our final story takes us to Sophie, an aspiring writer who had always dreamed of publishing a novel. Despite her passion for storytelling, Sophie struggled to find inspiration. Her days were consumed by freelance gigs, household chores, and endless scrolling on social media. Whenever she sat down to write, her mind felt cluttered, and her words fell flat. Frustrated and discouraged, Sophie decided to experiment with silence. She turned off her phone, unplugged her Wi-Fi router, and set aside 2 hours each morning for uninterrupted writing. At first, the silence felt deafening. Without the comforting hum of notifications or background music, Sophie felt exposed and vulnerable. But as she persisted, something magical began to happen. In the absence of distractions, her imagination came alive. Characters whispered their secrets, plots unfolded naturally, and scenes flowed effortlessly onto the page. The silence gave her the freedom to explore ideas without judgment or interruption. Within 6 months, Sophie completed the first draft of her novel, a heartfelt story inspired by her own journey towards self-discovery. To her surprise, the book resonated deeply with readers, earning rave reviews and sparking conversations about mental health and creativity. Looking back, Sophie realizes that silence didn't just fuel her writing, it transformed her entire approach to life. She now views stillness as a sacred practice, carving out time each day to disconnect from the world and reconnect with her inner muse. As Sophie reflects, silence is where the magic happens. It's where ideas are born and dreams take flight. 4. Reflections on the transformative power of silence. These 3 stories, Rachel's journey from burnout to balance, James' path to healing through stillness, and Sophie's unleashing of creativity, highlight the diverse ways silence can transform lives. While their circumstances and challenges were unique, they all discovered that silence is not merely the absence of noise, it's a catalyst for growth, healing, and self-discovery. Let's take a moment to reflect on the common threads woven through these narratives. A. Silence as a mirror. Silence forces us to confront ourselves, the good, the bad, and the uncomfortable. For Rachel, it revealed her reliance on busyness as a shield against vulnerability. For James, it brought buried emotions to the surface, allowing him to process trauma in a healthy way. And for Sophie, it cleared the mental clutter that had stifled her creativity. In each case, silence acted as a mirror, reflecting truths that might otherwise have remained hidden. As Rumi wisely said, "The wound is the place where the light enters you." Silence doesn't shy away from pain or discomfort, it illuminates them, offering an opportunity for healing and transformation. B. Silence as a reset button. In a world that glorifies constant activity, silence serves as a reset button for our minds and bodies. Rachel learned to step back from the relentless grind of her career and prioritize rest. James used silence to regulate his nervous system and regain emotional equilibrium. Sophie embraced quiet moments to recharge her creative energy. Each of them discovered that pausing isn't a sign of weakness, it's a source of strength. C. Silence as a source of inspiration. Finally, silence is fertile ground for inspiration. It creates space for ideas to germinate, relationships to deepen, and passions to flourish. Whether it's writing a novel, rebuilding trust with loved ones, or rediscovering joy in everyday life, silence provides the foundation for meaningful action. As Albert Einstein once observed, "I never made one of my discoveries through the process of rational thinking alone." Often, the most profound insights arise when we quiet our minds and allow intuition to guide us. 5. Lessons we can learn from these stories. What can we take away from Rachel, James, and Sophie's experiences? Here are 3 key lessons to carry forward. Lesson 1. Start small. You don't need to embark on a week-long retreat or overhaul your entire routine to benefit from silence. Begin with just a few minutes each day, whether it's sitting quietly with your morning coffee, taking a mindful walk, or journaling before bed. Small, consistent efforts compound over time, leading to significant changes. Lesson 2. Embrace discomfort. Silence can be uncomfortable, especially at first. You may encounter difficult emotions, restless thoughts, or even resistance. But remember, discomfort is often a sign of growth. Lean into it, knowing that the rewards far outweigh the challenges. Lesson 3. Trust the process. Transformation doesn't happen overnight. Rachel, James, and Sophie didn't see immediate results. They persisted despite setbacks and doubts. Trust that silence will guide you toward clarity, healing, and fulfillment, even if the path feels uncertain at times. 6. Practical takeaways. How to apply these lessons in your life. Inspired by these stories? Here are some actionable steps to help you harness the power of silence. Step 1. Identify your why. Ask yourself, what do I hope to gain from embracing silence? Is it greater focus, emotional healing, or creative inspiration? Clarifying your purpose will keep you motivated during challenging moments. Step 2. Create sacred spaces. Designate specific times and places for silence in your daily life. This could be a cozy corner of your home, a nearby park, or even your car during a commute. Surround yourself with elements that promote calmness, such as candles, plants, or soft lighting. Step 3. Experiment with different practices. Explore various forms of silence to find what resonates with you. Try meditation, journaling, mindful walking, or simply sitting quietly without distractions. There's no right way to practice silence. It's about finding what works best for you. Step 4. Be patient with yourself. Remember that mastering the art of silence takes time. Celebrate small victories along the way, whether it's completing a 5-minute meditation session or noticing subtle shifts in your mood and mindset. Progress, not perfection, is the goal. Conclusion to Chapter 5. In this chapter, we've explored transformative stories of individuals who harness the power of silence to overcome adversity and achieve extraordinary growth. From Rachel's journey to reclaim balance, to James' path to healing, to Sophie's unleashing of creativity, these accounts remind us that silence is a universal tool, one that transcends circumstances and speaks directly to the soul. Through their experiences, we've seen how silence acts as a mirror, a reset button, and a source of inspiration. We've also uncovered practical lessons and strategies to help you integrate silence into your own life. As we conclude this chapter, I leave you with this thought from Khalil Gibran. And there are those who talk, and without knowledge or wisdom say much. And there are those who remain silent, yet their hearts sing songs of light. May your heart sing its own song of light as you continue to embrace the transformative power of silence. In the final section of this audiobook, we'll summarize the key takeaways and offer encouragement to apply these lessons in your daily life. Until then, Take a moment to pause, breathe, and reflect on the wisdom you've gained so far. Your journey toward mastering the power of silence continues. Audiobook Conclusion. As we reach the end of this transformative journey through the power of silence, let's take a moment to reflect on the key lessons we've explored together. These insights are not just ideas, they're tools you can use to create a more peaceful, focused, and fulfilling life. 1. The noise epidemic: why silence matters more than ever. We began by examining the overwhelming noise epidemic in modern life. From digital distractions to societal pressures, noise has become a constant companion, but one that comes at a cost. Chronic exposure to noise increases stress, disrupts sleep, and diminishes our ability to focus and connect deeply. Silence, on the other hand, is a rare yet essential treasure that restores balance and clarity. 2. The science behind silence: unlocking its hidden powers. Next, we delved into the fascinating science of silence. We discovered how silence boosts creativity, reduces stress, enhances memory, lowers blood pressure, improves sleep quality, and strengthens the immune system. Silence isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity for optimal brain and body function. 3. Finding silence in a noisy world: practical strategies. In Chapter 3, we explored actionable strategies to incorporate silence into your daily life. Whether it's starting your day with quiet reflection, designing a peaceful environment, or practicing mindful listening, these techniques empower you to reclaim moments of stillness, even amidst chaos. 4. The art of listening: embracing inner and outer silence. Listening emerged as a bridge between silence and action. By cultivating active listening skills, tuning into your inner voice, and connecting deeply with others, you unlock the full potential of silence as a tool for personal growth and meaningful relationships. 5. Transformative stories: real-life examples of silence's power. Finally, we were inspired by real-life stories of individuals who harnessed the power of silence to transform their lives. Rachel found balance after burnout, James healed emotional wounds, and Sophie unleashed her creative potential. Their journeys remind us that silence is not just an abstract concept, it's a tangible force capable of reshaping lives. These lessons collectively underscore one profound truth: silence is not the absence of sound, it's the presence of possibility. It's a space where healing happens, creativity flourishes, and wisdom emerges. Now that you've gained these powerful insights, I want to encourage you to take action. Transformation doesn't happen by accident. It requires intention, effort, and persistence. Here's how you can stay committed to embracing the power of silence. 1. Start small, stay consistent. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. Begin with small, manageable steps, whether it's sitting quietly for 5 minutes each morning, turning off notifications during meals, or taking mindful breaks throughout the day. Consistency is key. Over time, these small practices will add up to significant changes. 2. Be patient with yourself. Change takes time, and there will be days when silence feels uncomfortable or even impossible. That's okay. Remember, every moment of stillness counts, even if it's brief. Trust the process and celebrate your progress along the way. 3. Create accountability. Share your commitment to silence with a friend, family member, or colleague. Having someone to support and encourage you can make all the difference. You might even inspire them to join you on this journey. 4. Reflect regularly. Take time each week to reflect on how silence is impacting your life. Are you feeling calmer? More focused? More connected to yourself and others? Journaling about your experiences can help you track your growth and stay motivated. Remember, the benefits of silence extend far beyond the immediate moments of stillness. They ripple outward, influencing every aspect of your life, from your mental and physical health to your relationships and sense of purpose. As Mahatma Gandhi once said, "The future depends on what you do today." Every choice you make to embrace silence brings you closer to a life of clarity, peace, and fulfillment. Before we part ways, I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude to you for choosing to embark on this wisdom journey with me. Your presence here means the world to me, and I hope this audiobook has provided you with valuable insights and inspiration to live a more balanced and meaningful life. If you found the power of silence helpful, I'd be incredibly grateful if you could show your support in 3 simple ways. 1. Like this video. Your likes help spread the message of silence to a wider audience, inspiring others to embrace its transformative power. 2. Share this audiobook. Know someone who could benefit from these teachings? Share this video with them. Whether it's a friend, family member, or colleague, your act of sharing could make a profound difference in their life. 3. Subscribe to Wisdom Audiobooks. By subscribing to our channel, you'll gain access to more insightful content designed to help you grow, thrive, and unlock your full potential. Together, let's continue spreading wisdom and positivity across the globe. Thank you once again for being here, for listening, reflecting, and committing to your personal growth. Remember, the journey doesn't end here. Every day is an opportunity to embrace silence, deepen your understanding, and live with greater intention. As we conclude, I leave you with this final thought from Lao Tzu. Silence is a source of great strength. May you harness that strength to create a life filled with peace, joy, and purpose. Until next time, keep seeking wisdom, and keep embracing the power of silence.